Hello, friends. It's your boy Jeff, back from Parts Unknown for another Spin Zone. Hey, I'm a poet and I don't even know it. I have a stack of records here to show you. Because in the last month or two, my spinning has gone way up. So it feels good because I've gone through a long stretch where I haven't really spun a lot, haven't really utilized my system or listened to records very much at all. So, fueled by a new record store that's local to me, which I've paid a couple of visits to, and by a record show that took place a couple of weeks ago where I found some good stuff. It's given me some new inspiration to spin some more records. We're going to get right to it here. Joe Jackson's Night and Day. This is an upgrade copy. Actually found this in a used bookstore here in Highland, where I'm living now, and in among all of the vertical stacks of records that were teetering precariously on top of bookshelves, I was able to find this. And my old copy has writing on the cover. Someone wrote their name in big black marker, and the record is pretty beat. So this is an upgrade on both counts. Nicer cover, nicer record. It still needs a cleaning. There's a little bit of a crackle to it, but overall it sounds great. And this is, it's not my very favorite Joe Jackson album. It's right up there with it. So I've listened to this hundreds of times since I've got it. So just having a nicer sounding copy makes it very worth it. Speaking of nice sounding, is Pink Floyd. This just came out. This is Dark Side of the Moon, 1974, live at Wembley. Am I holding this the right way up? Yes, I am. With the original lineup of the band playing the entire album live. I have a couple of bootlegs of Dark Side performances, live performances, and this is easily the best sounding because it's not a bootleg, it's an official release, so the sound is clean and pristine. And at this point, what can you really say about Dark Side of the Moon? I mean, it's the 50th anniversary of the album. I think it was released in March of 73, so we've already passed the 50-year mark with this thing. But never get tired of listening to it. I'll probably listen to this hundreds of more times before I kick off. One of the things I found at the record store last weekend was Eddie Vedder's solo album called Earthling. This is, when did this come out? Did this come out last year? I think it came out last year. Sorry. But yeah, I find I'm enjoying his singing a lot more now than I used to. I'm enjoying the music a lot more now than I used to. The sound isn't as heavy as Pearl Jam. It's not as, I don't want to say depressing as Pearl Jam. It just feels a little more upbeat. So was very happy to spin this. Very happy to add it to the collection. A couple of these records are going back a ways. This is Neil Young acoustic performance, Citizen Kane Jr. Blues. Geez, I listened to this probably back before Christmas, I think. I think I was still living in the old house when I listened to this one. I'd probably have to spin it again so I could remember it enough to even talk about it. But Neil has released several performances like these from 1970, 71, 72. Basically, if you like solo acoustic Neil, you'll like this. I mean, what can you say about the man? He's put a guitar in his hand and he can just hold your attention captive. So that easily goes for this record. Then this one here is an album called Ballads by the John Coltrane Quartet. This is the Analog Productions reissue of this album on Impulse Records. It's the sound on this is exquisite. It's just amazing. If you're a fan of Coltrane, and just about I think everybody is, you know that this album is very, very easy to listen to. It's very smooth. It's probably, he probably did this to pay the bills, because it's a little more mainstream than some of his other stuff that would come later. I think this album came out originally in '63. But it's very easy to listen to. The sound is great. The songs are great. And if you can spring forward, get the Analog Productions reissue like I've got here. You won't be sorry. For sure. Then my VC brother, Anthony Ferraro, sent me Robyn Hitchcock's new album, Shufflemania, that just came out, I think, about a month ago. And true to form with every other Robyn Hitchcock album that I own, it is full of his quirky lyrics, catchy hooks. Why this guy wasn't a superstar, I will never understand, but I'm still happy he's around. He's still happy he's putting out records, and this one is pretty freaking good. So thank you again, Anthony, for sending this to me. It was my first VCLT in my new place, so yeah, that was pretty nice. And we love Robyn, so definitely worth a listen. Another thing that is worth a listen, and this is something that I got at the record show a couple of weeks ago, is the new U2 album, Songs of Surrender. As you can see by this hype sticker, this is the University of Notre Dame limited edition. So one of the records is navy blue, the other one is yellow. And for those of you who may not know, this is, you can see the set list. This is U2 reimagining songs from their catalog and redoing them, mostly in acoustic fashion, kind of unplugged style. So if you're looking for the big bombastic sound of U2, especially from the 80s, you won't find that here, but doing it acoustic, doing it quieter than what the original record sounds like, puts the focus more on the lyrics. So especially for songs like, I know songs like One really seem to gain from the acoustic treatment, and this is just my opinion, and Stay, and even I Will Follow. So you don't have to spring for the fancy limited edition. I mean, this is available on Amazon, but if you're a U2 fan like I am, this will be a welcome addition to your collection. Songs of Surrender. Sorry, let me pick up a couple that just fell off my lap. Okay, we're getting to the end here. Sun Seals, Live and Burning. This is one that I got at the record show. This is an album recorded in 1978, live at Wise Fools Pub in Chicago, which I don't think is around anymore. So I'd picked up his first album, Midnight Sun, a couple of years ago, and always had it in the back of my mind to keep an eye out for any of his other records. as I would come across them. So that's pretty much why I bought this. um, it's rocking. Son Seals is a fantastic guitarist. Um, this is the kind of music that will get you moving if you're not already moving. So, especially in the live setting, it really shines. And yeah, I just dig it. So, Live and Burning by Son Seals is probably one that I've really enjoyed the most out of this group. Then this one goes back probably to Christmas or maybe a little bit after. Encouraging Words by Billy Preston. This was his solo album from 1970 that got reissued on the Apple label. And of course, if you know the story, Billy is played with the Beatles during their Let It Be sessions. And I think a lot of the supporting cast of musicians that were involved play on this album also, but there's no credits for any of the songs, so I don't know exactly who the musicians are. But he does a great cover of My Sweet Lord, which is it's a little gentler and it's a little more uplifting than George's version, although of course I love George's version. What else does he cover? I've Got a Feeling. He covers that one. All Things Must Pass. I mean, there are some original songs on here too, but this is I think this is still available on Amazon for relatively cheap, probably like 22 to 25 bucks if you can find it. This is good music to put on when you just want to chill, when you just want to, have a cup of coffee, think your thoughts, have this on in the background. It would be a very nice combination. So, very glad to have this in my collection. Encouraging Words by Billy Preston. Then we have, going back to the blues, Albert Collins and the Icebreakers live in Japan. I think this is probably one of the rare albums that Albert Collins did that didn't have ice or cold in the theme, in the title. Had this on CD. Hannah gave this to me, the Omaha Introvert, many years ago. Didn't have it on vinyl, and I came across it at the record store, so I had to have it. Again, it's a live blues album, which is really where Albert Collins shines, and it's just house rockin' music, like most Alligator Records releases are. And finally, also at the another record show pickup is Robert Cray's first album, Who's Been Talking. This is I can't remember. I don't think there's any hits on this because I didn't really recognize too much in here. I think Too Many Cooks was a radio hit, maybe on XRT. But just as I'm looking at the list here. But this was a very pleasant surprise. It sounds, pretty much like most of the other Robert Cray albums, which is awesome. And if you like Robert Cray, as you should, this album will go down just fine. So, yeah, I found a lot of blues at the record show. You'll see more of them coming in future spin zones as I get to actually spinning them. Anymore, that's what I look for primarily when I go to either record store or a show. Is I hit the blues section or the R&B section first. And a lot of these are, if you look these up on Discogs, the prices don't always match what people are selling them for at stores and shows, but blues isn't as popular, sad to say, as, rock or pop or metal or other genres. So, be that as it may. So I ended up paying, a few dollars over what the Discogs maximum price was, because of course I look all of these up and log them into my collection as I get them. But what are you gonna do? I mean, it's like I'm not gonna not get it because it's a few bucks more. So that's my thought on that. Thank you all for watching. Um, I don't know if I think I mentioned this in my last video. I have ideas for a couple more videos, which I'm going to try to make here in the near future. I just have to get all my shit together and gather up all of my examples to illustrate my points. Actually come up with something coherent in my head before I actually hit record, which is unlike how I make videos. All of this stuff is off the top of my head, which is losing hair rapidly. And yeah, but I've been watching more VC videos lately, and it's been giving me the itch to make them. So all that said, I'm going to try very hard to get a couple of more videos out there for you in the near future. So thank you all for watching. Love you all. And yeah, keep them spinning. I hope Mother Nature is a lot kinder to you than it's been to me around here. We've had raging thunderstorms. We've had tornadoes. We've had hail. We've even had some thunder snow. So yeah, I hope wherever you are, wherever you're watching this, the weather is a lot nicer for you. And I hope you're having fun. So until next time, it's your boy Jeff, and I'll see you soon.